driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Just trying to decide where to put everything today. Make sure my stuff is set up correctly. Audio, yes, okay. I was on a Teams meeting, so I always have to double check. Make sure my devices were captured. So the light's making me awfully orange. So I'm going to turn off the light. And hey, Chris. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I just had a really good meeting with Adams County. Yeah. And, I gotta say, I'm proud of them because they sat there and listened to me for half an hour. A lot of things that need to be said, and I'm just glad that we are starting to see some things happening. I just letting people know in life. Well, it turns out that we're working with a fresh slate, a clean slate. Adams County at the present moment doesn't even have any detoxes in it. And so that's going to be a top priority. But so they have a lot of neat things going on, right? I don't know if you knew this, but Adams County is actually kind of new because it was Tri-County before. And now we're on our own, which I think is great. I think it's great. We have a new, fresh, clean slate. Unfortunately, the Community Reach Center is a part of it, but we talked about them also. Community Reach Center is the one that kind of blew everything. They're the ones that put Arapahoe House out of business because of their shenanigans. Right? Well, we're taking our power back, and they understand that they cannot do any of this without people in recovery. Okay? And one of the very first things that I did with them was apologized. I apologized to them about the scene the recovery coaches have been making, and you should have seen the rolling eyes. I think professionals are tired. You go, yay! Good job, Ingrid. Good job. Connect. That's awesome. Just got a phone. See, I got good timing today. My timing is on. So, yeah, some neat stuff. The new website's up. It's very appeasing. I like it. I like the new website. Now we're going to go through and tighten everything up. There'll be changes made, things like that. So, cool stuff. But let's do introductions and get to it. I'm reading out of As Bill Sees It Today, page 255. All right? As Bill Sees It, 255. Welcome to the Daily Trudge, which is usually done multiple times a day. So maybe I should say welcome to the multi-daily trudge, the multi-pass. I always have to say that, multi-pass. If you're here, please say hello. Now, I usually ask people to say hello because what it does, the more conversation we have, the higher it goes up in the news feed. But I'm going to tell you something. The news feed don't care about me no more. So don't worry about it. Right? A wider understanding. And you know what? It's neat because that's exactly the conversation that I was just having. Of having a wider understanding to think that AA is going to solve everything for you is kind of naive, I think. Okay, we all need each other. We do. We all need each other. But it's got to be done appropriately, and it's got to be done the right way, right? So the one thing here, and here's my thing, here's my dick. And you can't get around it because we all agree on one thing. One alcoholic helping another alcoholic is the number one way. After that, there's no arguments. There's no more arguments. That is fact. That's the way it works. Okay? So when I talk to these people, and this is all wider understanding. So when I'm talking to quote unquote normies, because there really is no normal, okay? Non-alcoholic, how about that? When I'm talking to the O'Douls, I'll just start calling normies O'Douls. That's kind of funny. But I got them to understand that they're supposed to be in treatment centers and we're supposed to be sending them to us. And I explained to them how that power got switched around there. Oh. And then I explained to them why the recovery coach stuff went off the hinge. And I said, what you have is a bunch of untreated alcoholism with power. How do you think that's going to work out? Not very well. Untreated alcoholism. So page 255, as Bill sees it. If you don't know much about as Bill sees it, it's selected writing of AA's co-founder, and he wrote as much as I talked, man. Thank God, because we need these things. We do. I need them. Let's get to it. To reach more alcoholics, there we go. Love it. All right, there we go. We're done. Understanding of AA and public goodwill towards AA must go on everywhere. You're a leader, and you're going to have to do it by example. Be a good example, man. I have found that being a good example is actually easier than being a drunk jerk. It's easier, and it's a lot nicer. I'm not angry all the time. Things like that. So we need to be on still better terms. Okay, listen to this. We need to be on still better terms with medicine, religion, employers, government, courts, prisons, mental hospitals, and all enterprises in the alcoholism field. Now, the problem right now is we have a bunch of O'Douls that are trying to get alcoholics sober in Colorado, and it's not working. And we know why. Okay. So the first thing was, here's what it comes down to. We let them take the power. And unfortunately, since what we gave up is going to be twice as hard to get back. So I'm glad that where I'm working, it's a clean slate. That means I can do a lot of water under the bridge. It doesn't matter. We know this didn't work. That's great. No more blaming people. And what we can focus on now is just the solution. And the first solution is to open a detox with only people in recovery working there. That's the first step. And they heard it loud and clear. Right? But once we get to a place, so AA, what it's going to do is it's going to get you to a place where you can work on your problems. So when I say the 12 steps are a good start, that's what I mean by that. That it's a good start because you still got the rest of your life, man. Right? So it's a good start. From there, we are advocates. We're advocates, and you must advocate for what it is that you do. I advocate all the time. I just did it. And there was one thing that they said to me that caught me, and it gets me. They said, we've talked to several people, and not one person has brought this stuff up. What does that tell you? We're not doing our jobs. As a whole, as a collective. Individually, I know a lot of people. I mean, I'm certainly not saying that Chris and Ingrid ain't doing. She just got a new sponsee, right? And she probably found her sponsee. She probably didn't sit and wait on her butt, wait for somebody to ask her. No, she went and did it the right way. And now she gets to be in the joy of living. Now she gets those dividends. That's what it's about. That's free living. Yeah. Back when it was good. Yeah. Jefferson County mental health used to be the shit, man. We worked great in tandem with the treatment centers and the detoxes and the mental health, and everything was in tandem. And it worked very well. I'm glad that we experienced those days, Chris, because now if you went to work at detox, you'd be like, what in the hell is going on here? We need the increasing goodwill of editors, writers, television, and radio channels. These publicity outlets need to be opened ever wider. What about my anonymity? Fuck your anonymity. Well, actually, mine. Screw my anonymity. I can't say that about yours. It's not fair, right? Get rid of it. What do you need to be anonymous for? Legitimately. Right? Yeah, huh, Chris? I don't blame you. But see, it's my turn. It's my turn to do it. You did your part, Chris, and I thank you, man. Because if it wasn't for people like Chris, none of this shit would probably be around anymore. You guys have no idea how close, this close. AA might have been a great thing. All right, so we need to spread the word. Now, granted, there are some people that need to stay anonymous, and I get that, but 98% of us, no, we don't. No, we don't. In fact, nowadays, somebody in recovery that's working somewhere is actually considered an asset. Okay? So tell them about it. Hey, you know what? You know, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm going to tell you what. They're going to say, no shit. They're going to say, I get some of these people here are done. Nobody knew. Bullshit. Bullshit. They just didn't want to confront you because you're angry. You know? It was a great talk, man. It was a great talk because it's just and I started it out. I said, this is going to be a tough conversation. But I said, if we can't have tough conversations, then we might as well just pack it up, right? There. There it is. See, what I did, hi, Patricia, the thing is, I was feeling an excess of excitement. So I'm double downing on God. Instead of being in the excitement, instead I decided to come on here and see if I can't help somebody out. Yeah. I don't need to sit in that. Nothing matters more to AA's future welfare than the manner in which we use the colossus of modern communication. Modern communication. This is written in 1960. What are we doing here? We're using modern communication. Communication. Wah, 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 wah. The only time you're communicating is if this mouth is moving. Everything else is convenient. Texting is not communication. Okay? It's a convenience. Emails, not communication. Writing a letter, communication. Typing a letter and writing a letter are two different things. Okay? Try this. Let's say you need to write a letter to somebody. What I want you to do is type it, then wait 24 hours, and then write it and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Right? It's funny because I just got a text and it popped up and it says, it's from Amber. It says, did you get, and I bet it's, did you get the group on Intergroup? We are, Chris. We're communicating. But what I'm saying is we don't work out problems through texting. We gotta use this. Used unselfishly and well, it can produce results surpassing our present imagination. Should we handle this great instrument badly, we shall be shattered by the ego manifestations of our own people. Against this peril, AA members' anonymity before the general public is our shield and our buckler. What page was I on? 255. Right now, I feel like we're handling this instrument badly as a community, not necessarily as a people. Remember, this is about unity. Okay. And if AA does something, we're all a part of that. We're all a part of that. Okay. But what we're trying to get here is understanding that AA is not the only place in which we can present ourselves and what it is that we're doing in our lives. Okay. Gotta let our doctors know. I let people know all the time. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. Okay. What bothers me is NADAC calling me a disorder. That was part of the conversation that we had in there. I told them, you're asking the wrong people. Every single thing that you have does not have any 12 steps in it. And you know what they said? They said, you are correct. That's why you're here. Oh, all right. And we all know that I wouldn't be able to do this without you. You can't do it without me. It's a we thing. And I don't know that I'd want it any differently. Right. All right. I have a meeting to chair in an hour and 15 minutes. So Ingrid always on point. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I love you. Peace out and have a